More people with learning disabilities are living longer, and many still live at home with their families. Older family carers may need help themselves, and some get that help from their relative with a learning disability. These families are looking after each other, and this is called mutual caring.
Well, you know, we're very good company for each other. And we always have a bit of washing to do every day for Ian. And he can get the washer and the spinner and all those kind of things. And when they're washed, I like to put them on the line. Well, I'm not very good at getting to the clothes line at the moment. So Ian can take them and put them on the line for me.
I help him with his money, don't I? And he helps to spend it. He helps to spend it for mine and all. Don't you?
My mum helps me by doing my washing, getting my dinners ready, my tea ready.
I make the meals, of course. Ian does help to a certain degree, but he doesn't like the hot. You know, he's not very good with the hot stuff.
She does dusting, hoovering, cleaning, everything else.
I read his mail for him, don't I? And tell him about it. And I tell him to change regular, but he doesn't.
Get a shave.
And get a shave, yes.
The big issues at the moment, I think, that are facing older families, mainly isolation, lack of support, people not realising that some of their sons and daughters are actually now caring for them. Not a lot of people can actually understand mutual caring. It's not a term that a lot of the care managers and social workers are actually aware of, and they tend just to look at the older person as the carer and don't focus at all on the person with a learning disability.
What do I do to help my mother? Well, she's getting on now, she's 90 years of age. I sit with her, we talk about the past.
I get up at 7 and I make tea for my mum.
I do her shopping.
I pay the bills for mum. Mum gives me the money.
Sometimes I do the ironing for her.
Take a dog for a walk, hoover up.
Helping my nan out the shower and sort of washing her back.
Help her in and out of the bath.
And help her to change her bed.
I get my mother's medication.
Sometimes I do the bit of cooking.
Help her to keep safe.
I'm pleased to help them. I'm very grateful, that I've got a mum and my sister.
Being a carer can be challenging for anyone, particularly for people who need support themselves.
Good job when my bank was right nearby, wasn't it?
I need to help my nan because she's sort of getting old and she's like 69 this year, and she sort of has cramp and gout and you name it, she's got it. And she sort of has asthma. She sort of like falls out of bed sometimes. And when she had her hip replacement, her leg was like a brick. I couldn't lift it up.
My sister Debbie, she's 40-something, and she doesn't know sometimes she doesn't know what she's doing sometimes, because she has fits, she has problem with fits.
I've been caring for my father, helping my mother out since he had his stroke in February 2008. He was diagnosed with bipolar disorder in March 2008.
Back in for Christmas, 2nd of December, I went to Aikendown. And I came home and I found Mum on the floor. She broke her wrist. And she's been in hospital for a month.
If it wasn't for her, I'd be lost.
My mother tells me to stay out of his way because of his behaviour. She tells me not to listen to him because he's not in the right frame of mind. My father denies he has a medical condition. If it wasn't for myself, my mother would have had a nervous breakdown.
What's this? Is it 4 times a day?
Just this one.
Mutual carers in older families are often supported by other relatives too.
I don't think that people realise the impact on someone's life of being a sibling of someone with learning disability and also having to be a carer for their parent as well, the older carer. So I'm looking after 2 people, and I think it's had a massive impact upon my life. You sort of fall into these things really, and I have a very accommodating husband and family who support me. But they don't ask me all the time, and people don't ask you. You just get on with it really, you do get on with it. And sometimes you'd like somebody just to say, Sandra, are you all right? And you don't feel you can go to somebody and moan on for an hour or 2 because it's selfish.
I think a lot of the people with learning disabilities that we come into contact with haven't perhaps identified themselves as carers when we first meet them, and they're muddling along often in quite complex situations at home, and it's not until we mention the word that they're caring, they're carers, and that actually that's a really important role, that begins to be a sort of role they take on in a different way. Naming it's very important, I think.
Now, while I'm here, what are you going to have for tea?
We find out usually that somebody's in a mutually caring situation by chance quite often. So as a family or a person with a learning disability may approach us or come into contact with us for something entirely different. And as we get to know them, we start to recognise that actually they're as much a carer as the family that everybody thinks is caring for them.
Oh, that's good.